Welcome to the Raj Smriti Show. This is a special series on International Women's Day celebrated on 8th March, and today we have with us an entrepreneur with a difference, Charu Srivastava. Welcome to the show, Charu.
Thank you.
So, to begin with, we'll start talking about your venture itself, which is Let's Marry.
Yeah.
Tell us what Let's Marry is all about.
So, Let's Marry, the tagline is the right one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very apt.
Yes. So, what we believe is that once you marry the right person, next 30-40 years of life are going to be a journey which is full of sharing, caring and happiness.
Yes.
So, we look at marriage as an institution wherein it upgrades your quality of life. Right? If it's not giving you happiness, if it's not elevating you as a better human being and a better soul, then there is no purpose of marriage. Then
Very rightly said. I just read somewhere wherein it said that, if you're not marrying the right person, you're doing injustice to yourself.
Absolutely.
And to the other person as well.
Yes. So what happens is there are a couple of attributes which are very attractive in today's society, and people based on those attributes, they get attracted and they make the wrong judgment.
Right, like वो ads आता था, we want tall, fair, convent educated girl.
Yes. Now, if these were the parameters which would have sustained marriage,
Right.
then there would have been no divorces or there would have been no unhappiness in life. So this is why we are on a mission that whosoever takes our services is able to see through the depth of a person's personality, the value systems, where that person is coming from, and is that person's journey in life, the life goals are in alignment with yours. Then only you take an informed decision.
True.
And is there a chemistry between you both? So we take our clients onto that journey of exploration, and hence ours is not a quick fix kind of a hasty kind of a...
Like this checkbox,
No,
your
we are not
qualities match and 80% match or 90% match and you're made for
that.
each other.
We don't work on that. We always say that you check your compatibility, and before even compatibility comes your synergy and your chemistry. Whether once you meet a person, maybe that person fits in all the checklists you have in mind, but when you meet that person, is that person oozing such an energy that later on you really miss and you want to meet that person again? That desire, that fire is there in you to meet that person again.
And how do you do that?
That is something which a person can only find out by themselves. We facilitate, we sensitize, we facilitate, we do the coordinations required
and provide the right ambience
and environment, and rest it comes from within. That so we are looking at a mind level, at a soul level, rather than just the physical attributes. I always believe the physical attributes are just the gateway or the gate to somebody's inside soul and the persona.
Right.
So I'm not doing away completely with the physical attributes, but that is just the initiating part.
Yeah, I mean, as they say, what will you do with a pretty face if your hearts are not aligned with one another? After a certain time, beauty fades away.
Absolutely.
You age, your physical appearances change. What we were when we were children and what we are right now, it's a completely whole new different body that we are living into. And the facilitation part that you're saying, in earlier times, kya hota tha, our parents would do it, our ancestors, when they would do a matchmaking, that was forever.
Correct.
Right from the horoscope part to the family part to the financial part to the habits part.
Correct.
वो सारा analysis करके एक match होता था. And if I talk about the Hindu system or the Indian system or the Hindu way of life, अगर आप हिंदी की डिक्शनरी में देखेंगे तो डिवोर्स का कोई मतलब नहीं है. Like do we
होता ही नहीं है.
क्योंकि शादी का मतलब डिवोर्स नहीं था. There was no concept.
जन्म का
right. तो हिंदी में कोई वर्ड नहीं है for divorce. उर्दू में है, इंग्लिश में है, अदर लैंग्वेजेस में है, बट इंडियन लैंग्वेज हिंदी में नहीं है, बिकॉज मैरिजेस वर फॉरएवर एंड फॉर 7 or 8 lives, whatever
yes.
we talk about. So if I understand clearly, or if my audience is understanding clearly, you are kind of a brand which is equivalent to Shadi.com.
No, I would not compare myself with
Okay.
Shadi.com.
How are you different when it comes to matchmaking?
So if I talk about quantum and their presence and the number of subscribers, I would not stand anywhere, right? But when it comes to quality in depth, they don't stand anywhere.
Wow, nicely said.
So it's totally non-comparable, I think, because our ideologies are very different. It's for them, it's a business model. For us, of course, it's our business. It's a LLP, but then our business model is that 10 years down the line, whosoever becomes our client should have a smile on their face. That is our core objective.
Wow.
That they should, when they think about let's marry, they should be creating happy memories. There should not be any regret. And individually, as Charu Srivastava, I have been aligning people for marriage for past 25 years.
Wow.
And not even one marriage has gone bad. So because of that extra care of alignment of personalities, I took care while I was helping people getting married, even before Let's Marry as a brand came.
Okay. So what made you, start this brand? Was there any personal experience or what you saw around things going on?
See, initially it was when I was very young, say I was around 23, 25, I had some cousins, my relatives, even some relatives of mine who were in 40s and they were not married. So I used to feel ki I should help them. If they want to get married, if I come across somebody really good for a particular person, I should help them. So I started this journey with my cousins, my sister, and even my Mausi-in-law.
Wow.
Right, who was in her 40s at that time. So I started reaching out to people, knowing them, spending time, and this was something like it was not a part of my main work. It was my hobby. It was something like, I would not even coin it a social work because I was very passionate about it.
Kind of a passion that is now your profession.
Yes. So I used to love connecting, making jodis who can happily be together for life.
Wow.
And by God's grace, people trusted me, people responded to me, and initially when I, helped my sister, my cousin, all of them, their marriages were very successful. So this is why it was always there in me as a natural desire to connect the people. I made it into a profession. I started studying the models which are existing in 2015.
Okay.
It took me about 5 years time to study and develop my own model. So my model, I wanted to do research on people, understand them, authenticate whatever they are trying to provide as an information to me. So I developed my own module, which is very, very different from any other module which is existing.
That is going on.
And it is not volume based, but quality based. At the same time, one very important thing I'd like to tell you, that I am into a mission of converting women into women entrepreneurs, the women who could not work while raising their children. So the first example, I experimented with my own sister in Bangalore. So she for 20 years was a housewife, right? And now she has got grown-up children. So I said, you take it up in Bangalore.
Okay, so the
the model will be replicated. We are going to be together and we are going to research together, serve our clients. But you take it.
She is the face there.
She is the face there, and she is the example for so many others who now want to do something because there is a void once the children grow up.
Yeah, I mean, you give your 20 years to your children and then they leave and then you have absolutely nothing to do. And then you realize that, why did I give up my career and other things?
And during the menopausal stage of life, people have got a lot of void, emptiness, and self-worth and self-esteem goes down when they are not earning.
Very true.
So that is the time when Let's Marry is an initiative to empower such women.
Wow.
So that is another.
That's the social responsibility part of it.
Yes, from the other side of the, other side of the Let's Marry journey. So we are trying to create women entrepreneurs in all the cities.
Nice.
So that is also one aspect. And We're trying to give quality service to people, helping them to know people so that they are able to connect with the right person. So attributes like salary packages, attributes like whether that person is, very modern, traditional, or whether that person is coming from metropolitan cities or B grade towns, that is immaterial. The actual what matters is, are you happy together? Are you happy being together? Are you able to have good conversations? Are you good communicators to each other?
Right.
And most of the communication is non-verbal. So communication doesn't mean that you have great vocabulary, right?
It's about that touch, that feel, that action.
Yes. Is your presence comforting? So these are the kind of things we are focusing on, and this is why I feel that this is very important after marriage, but people do not value it.
So in this modern era wherein, divorce is taking up and marriages are failing, people are, there's this double income, no kids concept. Now the single thing has come, that you be single, no kids, only income, and all of it. What do you think? And plus we have seen marriages have been abusive, women have gone through hell. Not that men don't go through, even men have had abusive marriages and domestic violence. It prevails from both the sides. Maybe some stories come up, some stories don't come up. So do you think marriage is important? When we talk about women empowerment, now that we are wanting our women to work, because we can't deny that fact that, if you have to be a mother, you want to raise a family, you have to give certain years to your children, to your family, and it does take you a bit back when you compare to your other counterparts, or your male counterparts. So in this scenario, what is women empowerment for you? Is marriage going to play a role in that? How do we address the issue?
So when it comes to women empowerment doesn't have to do anything with your marital status. Right? Women empowerment can happen at any stage of life. Even a 5-year-old girl, if she is confident and she is, playing, having a happy childhood, she is studying, she is an empowered child. Right? And of course, the parents, how they treat their children, it also gives a self-esteem. So it has a lot to do with your self-esteem. If you have a high self-esteem, even if you are a maid somewhere working, you are empowered because that power is oozing out of you.
Very rightly said.
Right? It has nothing to do with how the world is looking at you, your social status, your financial status, and your marital status. This is totally irrespective of all of this.
Interesting.
So, most importantly, every woman should feel very comfortable under the skin. And she should have that strength in herself that come what may, whatever the scenario is in life, I will be able to combat it. And I should have mental strength to combat and face anything in life, because life is very unpredictable.
True, very true.
And unpredictable for everyone. So I think that is one thing about what I feel about women empowerment. Nobody else is you don't need to wait for anybody to empower you.
And you rightly said, marriage or no marriage, if you have your self-esteem intact, you can sail through any situation. Absolutely. And you are a self-empowered person.
Absolutely. So that is one thing. Now talking about this double income, no kids, or remaining single. I have been watching society. I have myself been married for 32 years now.
Wow.
So I have been watching, people with different kind of setups in life. What I have realized, that people get into their comfort zone if they are financially stable or even average. So what happens is that marriage is a huge responsibility and it changes your life
and you
completely.
have to work on it on a daily basis.
On a daily basis. There is no respite. It's not something that you can say ki aaj main karungi, kal nahi karungi. So it's an ongoing thing. So what happens is that many people, for the sake of being in their comfort zone, because when they are either living with their parents or living all alone, they are totally living the way they want to live.
Yeah.
Right? And these days, sexual relationships outside marriage or before marriage are no taboo. So those things are being fulfilled as well in society. So earlier, the physical relationships only were dependent on marriage.
True.
So this is why that was also a very important part why people used to get married. But now that's no more. So what happens is people, to maintain status quo in their comfort zone, they think that marriage is not necessary. But in terms of crisis and midlife crisis, and once they reach their 50s and 60s, I have seen that people start feeling that void and somebody there to share a life, and especially when there is illness, there is some kind of mental aloofness, there are psychological issues. You want to share your happiness, you want to share small things in life.
Yeah, it could be as simple as getting up in the morning and having a cup of tea together.
Yes,
right?
Yes. Or something has happened to a friend of yours and you want to seek advice कि अरे उसकी life में ये चल रहा है.
Right. क्या
करे. So that is the time these same set of people who thought that marriage is not important want to they get into that phase that they are looking for a partner. So need of somebody being there is very important. At the same time, in girls, because a lot of girls come to me in their 40s. Right. And those girls who have never been married, वो लड़कियां मेरे पास तब आते हैं जब उनका एक पेरेंट की डेथ हो जाती है. Many times. And they are in a panic state because they've seen one parent going. Now they are in that anxiety that what if this my existing second parent also goes away, where am I going to go? There's a huge void and sense of anxiety in them. True. So that is the time these girls keep coming back to me and they are looking for a life.
So you get people married irrespective of their age, irrespective of it's about marrying the right person, and you could be at any age
I
level.
always advocate this, that having a partner is very important at any stage of life, and especially if there is a desire in you to have a partner, then age is not a constraint at all. You can have that desire in 50s, you can have that desire in 40s or 30s, whatever it is.
Which was a taboo earlier. It was like, कि अब बच्चों की शादी के time आया है, you are thinking of getting married.
So मुझे ये लगता है कि बच्चे तो जो है अपनी जर्नी पे चले जाते हैं, और आजकल लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी जो है वो बढ़ गई है. So people are living till 80s, 85, 90. So if somebody say got widowed or in 40s or early 50s, that person has another 25 years to live.
Very true.
Right. So you cannot expect a person to live a lonely life, and our society is not so advanced that if you hang around with a girlfriend, boyfriend at that age and you move in the society, people will have a smirk, people will you
don't get that same amount of respect.
You can't take them to married couples. If you want to have a party,
a family.
So people will think that you are out of league, and they will treat you accordingly.
Right.
So and now the legal procedures are also in favor of such couples. So what I believe is that marrying is very important if you are feeling that desire. Right. If you don't have a desire, perfectly
that's totally
okay.
fine. Yeah,
that's totally fine. So I get a lot of clients around that age.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So beautiful concept. Let's marry, but marry the right person, and it could be at any age. And it was lovely talking to you. Keep empowering more women in terms of marriage as well, because I think that also plays a role in your empowerment, your self-esteem. Because if you don't have a partner, then also you feel dejected.
I just want to finish with one thing, that during pandemic, the couples who were in the hospital or were very seriously ill, the married people, the chances of survival were higher because their spouse was fighting
There was love, there was care, there was, understanding.
Yes.
There's somebody to stand by.
And lot of people who did not even understand medical terms and issues and how the treatment has to be done, they fought for their spouse.
Very true.
And single people, despite having being loaded with money, they lost their lives because there was nobody outside their ICU to fight for them. So
True.
this is what I have observed personally. This is why I think marriage is a very beautiful journey. It is going to have a lot of ups and downs, but it is worth the journey if you have the right one.
Nice. Very nice. So best wishes to you.
Thank
Keep
you.
continuing with this journey and many more marriages, beautiful marriages in this country.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Smriti.